Hey guys, it's Trish from the Running Duck Effect here. Today I'd like to talk to you about tattoos, ink, and more importantly, the tattoo you might be thinking about getting to commemorate a running event that you've done recently. So if you've got that in mind, especially if you haven't had a tattoo before, stay with me because I've got some handy tips and advice to help you make sure you get a tattoo that you're going to love forever.
Who would have thought that I would have 4 tattoos now when I said that I would never have a tattoo?
So back in the day, it was the rebels of society that had the tattoos. But these days, pretty much everyone's got tattoos. People who don't like messing up their skin, and there's people who love to express themselves with ink. I'm obviously in the ink camp, haven't got as many as I'd like, and I'm pacing myself. A lot of runners are choosing to get a tattoo to commemorate a big event or a big milestone in their running journey. So why did you decide to have a Boston Marathon tattoo?
Well, it's a progression. I've got other tattoos. One when I completed an Ironman, one when I ran sub 3 hours for a marathon, and I've also got the pizza tattoo with a king's crown. We are the pizza king and queen.
Now you're going to have a Boston
now I'm getting
tattoo.
Boston because it marks another significant period of my running journey. Boston is the pinnacle of marathon running. It's steeped in history, tradition, and if you're a marathon runner, it's really the one that most people aspire to run.
Okay, so you've decided you definitely would like a tattoo. What are you going to put in it? What's going to be the content? Is it going to be the logo from the race that you've just done? My husband's got an Ironman tattoo. It's got the M dot symbol, which is actually the logo of Ironman. Now, I helped design that tattoo, but I still look at it sometimes and think, don't know what I think about having a logo of some corporation on your body. So another point to make with regard to the content of that tattoo is to think about whether or not you want to include your finishing time. This is a long-term investment. It's going to be on your body for the rest of your life. So you need to remember that you might go and do that style of event again, and you might cut your finishing time in half. For some people, it's still important to remember that first time and where you came from, but it's just worth giving that a bit of thought. Do you want to have that initial time on your body? And maybe it's a situation where you've got, a marathon tattoo, and then underneath it's got your time and maybe the date, and then maybe for subsequent marathons you might like to add the time and the date again, so it shows your progression. You might have planned that once you cross the finish line, you're going to head straight into the tattoo parlor the next day and have your tattoo done. Just consider muscle soreness. Also, if you plan to have your tattoo done while you're on a holiday, maybe you've gone away for a big event and you're having your tattoo done wherever you are at your destination. Just consider a few things. You've got to try and stay out of the sun for the first couple of days after you have a tattoo. You've got to continue to add antiseptic cream to that tattoo to ward off infection and to help it heal. You need to stay out of swimming pools, spa baths. Who do you want to see your tattoo? Is it just for your own benefit, or would you like to show it off to the world? That's going to influence the placement on your body. You might actually only want runners and like-minded people to see your tattoo, in which case you should put it somewhere where your running gear is going to show it off, but your work clothes won't, because you normally wear longer sleeves for work or whatever the case may be. My biggest running tattoo is on my calf, and I wear calf sleeves to run most of the time. or long socks. Yeah, most of the time people don't see it, but that's okay. I do also get comments a lot of time from people who aren't runners asking me what 42.2 means. Obviously that's metric for the marathon distance, give or take a few decimal points, and I'm happy to share that with them. If it can inspire someone else to start thinking about a run, all the better. When we're talking about the placement of the tattoo, pain factor comes into question here. Different areas of the body can be more sensitive to tattoo. I'll put up a chart for you to have a look at. It's just a generic chart. Obviously everybody's different, but it's a really good guideline for areas to avoid if you're a little bit more sensitive. Never have alcohol before you go and have a tattoo. It might seem like a great way to numb that pain, but if you've had a few drinks before a tattoo, often they won't tattoo you. They'll smell it on your breath and they'll pick it up straight away. And secondly, if you do go ahead and be tattooed with alcohol in your system, it can really cause the bleeding to escalate and you can get into some strife there. Some tattoo inks can cause reactions, like allergic reactions in people. Specifically red inks affect some people. So if you're at all concerned about that, it's good to go and see a dermatologist actually before you go and have a tattoo done, just to check out how you're going to react to things. Okay, so when you're choosing your tattoo studio, go online, have a look at the styles of work that the people do. So a lot of people like doing tribal art, some people like doing cartoony work, other people do a lot of sort of skulls and traditional tattoos with swords and hearts and that sort of thing, roses. So you need to find someone who does the style that you like. So if you're into fine lines and floral, don't go with somebody who's doing skulls and heavy metal tattoos. And then it might be worth dropping them an email, and at this point it's helpful to have a design in mind. So have sketched something out, just roughly, nothing too intense, and then ask them, you know, how long will it take to have it done? It might be, if it's a big tattoo, it might take more than one sitting. And if you're new to tattoos, I'd probably suggest not going for anything that's going to take more than 2 hours at a time. You're going to want to have a break. So maybe ask for a quote at that point via email. Prices vary wildly. If you're having any sort of text on that tattoo, if it's got, you know, the name of the event or potentially your finishing time, any sort of writing at all, it's good to consider the size and talk to your tattoo artist about it, because over the years, and you'll probably have this tattoo for many years, hopefully, fonts will bleed. They will spread, sometimes more than others, depending on where they are in your body and how they were done. Point in question is this one here. I've had that for about, 10 years, 12 years, and it's just started to gradually spread a little bit. It's not as fine as it used to be. If you've already got some running related ink, post it below in the comments. We'd love to see your ideas, and if you've had any faux pas, anything that you would have done differently, make sure you comment below. When you get to the studio, what they're going to do is they might shave the area where you're going to have your tattoo applied to make sure it's hair free. They're going to make a stencil. So they'll print out a little stencil of your tattoo, they'll apply it to the place where you'd like it applied, and that's when you get to have a little bit of a play with that, and you get to sort of move your body around. If the tattoo's on your arm, move it around and make sure you're happy with the way it sits when you're moving, and that it doesn't go into places that you don't want it to go. I got a rude shock when I had this one done. I didn't realise that when you move your arm, that part of your arm actually doesn't move as much as the top of your forearm. Had I have known that at the time, I would have done it differently, and I probably would have had the writing going straight up my arm. But, you know, live and learn. Very good, very good. And the other thing to look at this point is definitely the sizing. So if it's on your calf and you had a little tattoo like this and your calf muscle is like that, it might look a bit silly and a little bit inadequate. So it's at that point that you say to your tattoo artist, don't know what we can do here. I feel like it's too small, and they might either just enlarge the design, or they might suggest a little bit of a background feathering or shading that could sort of blend it out into the rest of your skin. you get to that stage and they've put the stencil on you and you have looked in the mirror, you're having alarm bells ring because, oh, it looks bad, you don't like the design, it's not what you thought it would be, it's not the right size, the lines are too thick, whatever the problem might be, you're having doubts about actually having the tattoo at all, now is the time to say stop, I need to take a breath, I need to have a chat to the tattoo artist, and maybe I need to walk away and make another appointment. You might still go ahead with the same tattoo, you might make some changes, or you might decide you don't want to go ahead with it after all. But whatever you do, don't push past that and think, oh, I'm here, I've taken up this guy or this lady's time, I can't pull the pin now, and just get sort of railroaded into it by the thoughts in your own head. If you're having any doubts at all, don't go ahead with the tattoo. The artist won't want you to go ahead with it if you're having any doubts about it. They want you to be happy with the end result. They want to be proud of their work and they want you to be proud of their work. So at this point, if you've got the stencil on and you're thinking, oh, I don't know about this, take a breath, give it a moment, talk to the tattoo artist, tell them what your concerns are, and they might be able to come up with some solutions for you that may make you feel a lot more comfortable. So, Melbourne was great. Done another marathon, got another tattoo. There's people waiting everywhere to have their bags weighed, and ours are going to be over, and Neil's is over anyway because he's just weighed his. So it's a tense moment for running to perfect. My shoulder's about to dislocate from the weight of this bag, but it's going to come in under 7 kilos. Hang on, we're nearly at the man. I'm going to have to go now. Right, with all the bags done? Bye, Melbourne.
Bye, Melbourne.
We've lost our car. We've been to 3 levels.
This is it.
He reckons this is it.
Yeah, I reckon.
He remembers now. It all looks the same.
This is it.
You said that on the other 2 levels as well.
Third time lucky.
Now we're rushing to the gate because somebody had to sit there drinking for too long. We're not late. We're going to get there. It's all right. I've got a kebab in my bag.